Hey guys, Sly here, and today I'm probably going to be doing a review on Stephen King's It, which I just saw yesterday. I'm going to make this one spoiler, you know, but later on I'm going to do, I think, a spoiler free review on the movie. I don't know, I'll think about it. So we're just going to dive right into the review. You know, I really like this film. The pacing was okay. Everyone's complaining about the pacing, and I'm like, what about it? I mean, the pacing felt perfect to me, at least compared to the newest Godzilla movie. Where it had Bryan Cranston in it. Pacing was good. Alright. And I liked how they set the tone of the whole movie with Georgie getting his arm bitten off and actually shows him crawling away before Pennywise drags him right into the storm drain. I wish it had that thing. But, before you guys are gonna be like, well, you should know why. Yes, I know, it's a TV series. They had to tone down the stuff a bit. I know. You know. Uh, I liked it. People were complaining about, that they focus on the kids. Well, that's what it's supposed to do. You know, they focus on the kids, and then it sets, their character up. So, the clown can, feed on their fears. So, the audience knows what their fears are, which the clown feeds on. You know what I'm saying? And people were just, complaining about, why does the clown not kill them? Well, basically, you know how you put, salt on meat for it to taste better, or any type of seasoning? This is basically what fear does to the clown. Apparently, to the clown, fear tenderizes and salts the meat, so to speak. You know, and it's just well done. I mean, obviously, it's way, way darker than the TV series. For example, it's implied that Beverly Marsh, the only female group of the Losers Club, is being sexually abused by her father. When I brought my dad to see it in the theater, but it started showing signs of that, he's like, oh, geez. And, I really wanted to be all yeah, I should have warned you about that. But, he handled it well, and at least it was, nothing that was shown, if you know what I'm saying, or else I wouldn't have handled that. Anyways, the bullies, people were thinking, oh, the bullies were awful. Let me tell you something, they were way worse in the book. I think Henry Bowers, the dude with the switchblade, I think he was racist, anti-Semitic, or Semini, however you pronounce it. Anti-Jewish is what I'm trying to say. And he was a racist. Wait, did I already say that for number one? No, just forget it. And I believe he hated gays. I think. I mean, that's what I believe. It shows the kids' stories and how they meet up. And it's done so well. For example, I already told you about Beverly Marsh. But with Bill, he's still talking about George, and the parents were like, just stop, he's dead. But Bill just refuses to believe that. And then you have Eddie, who has an overbearing mother who constantly worries about him and just basically isolates him from the world, basically. Like, there's so much to talk about. Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I wanted to do a review, like, right after I saw the movie, but I was like, nah, I'm too tired. Because I think it was, like, almost a 2-hour movie, so I was, like, exhausted. But man, the new Pennywise, I think he's starting to grow on me. Because when I saw, like, the picture before, like, any of the trailers were released, I was like, I'm not sure about this. And then I started seeing interviews from Bill Skarsgård, who is portrayal as Pennywise in the new It. And I saw the trailers, I was like, you know what? I think I'll give this movie a chance. And besides, I saw most of the miniseries, so why not? Boy, let me tell ya, it is scary. It's a combination of scary and thriller. When the movie's not being scary, it's definitely a thriller. Trust me. And the kids, they speak realistically. They cuss. Like how I would when I was in like middle or elementary school. They try to be edgy and be cool, and then they like make jokes at each other. Like me and my brother, we were just like laughing at the jokes, and so was my dad at some points. I saw other people's reviews on it. I saw Tyrone Magnus's, and he said that they feel forced. I I don't really see signs of that. I just don't. You know? And I just like how like the whole movie just gets to the point where it just shows it relates to people in the real world. With the situation with Beverly Marsh and how satisfying it was when her father just pulls back the curtain in like the shower and she just smacks him over the head with the sink. When that scene happened, I looked over to my brother and he was all like, and I almost did the same thing too, because a sink to the face would hurt a lot, you know. And the thing is, which kind of set it off, was when Henry Bowers is introduced. Well, not really introduced, but later in the movie, there's this like one part that I guess upset some people where he had one of his buddies pick up a cat and just set it where the bottles were so he could like shoot at it with a gun. But his dad steps in. He just like scares him like right in front of his friends. And it just shows right there that his father basically made him that way. And like his death doesn't seem satisfying in that way. Like the manipulation that the clown uses, I have to say, is quite good. When like the clown like gives Henry his switchblade back after he lost it in the forest. Sorry if I'm just sounding off. I'm just really tired. I have to go to bed in a bit. Yeah, school tomorrow. Anyways, the Pennywise gives Henry his switchblade back, and he walks into the room where his father is sleeping, and he looks at the TV. It's just a kid show, and the clown is manipulating the other kids and the adult on the TV and say, kill him, and then just a bounty bug going, kill them all. But man, when he pressed the switchblade against his temple and then just pressed the release and it just went right through his neck and he just started squirming as like blood came out, that scene kind of made me shiver a bit. It made me squirm a bit. I'm not gonna lie. That was a bit much, And their deaths both don't seem satisfying. I don't know why. I mean, I get that they're bullies, you know. I mean, the only satisfying death was Henry's, in my opinion. I know I kept saying that it wasn't, but I don't know. I'm just trying to brainstorm. I'm trying to like process this because Henry, like I said in the book, was way, way more awful in the book than either the movie or the miniseries. But man, what scene really took me unexpected was when Mike, you know, the black kid, just gains the upper hand and just shoves Henry down the well, and you can see him like smack against the wall, smack his head, just basically break every bone in his body before he would even reach the bottom of the well. You know, and that kind of made me go, just there's just a lot to process. That kid from Stranger Things, you know, Richie, oh my gosh, he was hilarious. Doesn't smell like caca to me, senor. Uh, that so reminds me of me sometimes. I just see that's why I kind of like it. It's the characterization, how the story is told, how they dealt with the changes. They just press it forward. You know, they lay it out, and then they just be like, "That's how we should do it." And man, the projector scene, man. My mom was laughing at me to the fact that if I thought a like jump scare was coming up, I'd be like, and I just like try to brace myself, you know. But man, when they knock over that projector and Pennywise is still on there and he disappears, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna come up. Because when a monster leaves, he's never truly gone. He's gonna come back. And he like pops right out of the projector. I jumped a bit. And he's like chasing the kids around like 8 times their height or 8 times their size before they open up the thing. You know, it was a cool change from the book scene in the miniseries. You know, where the book comes to life. It was actually pretty cool. I like that a lot. And man, Pennywise himself was just amazing. When he's in that sewers talking to Georgie, you know, you get some vibes. When he's like laughing, he's like just slowly just stops laughing. Georgie almost crapped himself. You can just see him literally go, "Oh well, I better get going." It's like, oh, I'd be running. I wouldn't say that. I'd be running, you know. And like I said, you know, when Pennywise bit his arm off, you know, you can actually see it like how it is in the book. See, I kind of like when movies play the book out visually. I mean, luckily they did include the sewer orgy scene, just so you know, or else if I brought my parents to the theater, it would have been awkward. Let's just say that. And of course, at the end, you know, when they all depart, it says "It" Chapter 1, hinting to a sequel. Obviously, is where the adults are going to be. And I'd be really shocked if Stanley doesn't kill himself. Because in the original one, when he hears that it's returned, he immediately kills himself. Like, he's so haunted by the clown that he's like, yep, I'm gonna off myself. Because I wouldn't blame him. He almost got killed by the clown. But luckily his friend saved him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and the scene that they defeat the clown, man. Oh my gosh. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't bring the part where they sprayed battery acid on his face and it just melted. But instead, they grabbed a bunch of weapons and stuff and started beating him to death with it. Just went all gangster on him. And while Pennywise is distorting and just turning into their fears individually, and they're just fighting back and everything. Boy, that was awesome. And I forgot what one reviewer that reviewed it is, that when they stop being scared, that you'd stop being scared. And that kind of felt true. And people were complaining about the effect where they were floating in the air. I mean, I couldn't pull that effect off. I don't really know how to do green screen stuff. But I think it was well done. I think the movie was good. Of course, it added a whole new meaning to "we all float down here." You see, Tim Curry's It always kept saying that. We never know what it meant. But in the new It, you could see why he says, "we all float down here." Because they literally float in the air. Which gives a good explanation. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't agree with Rod, Doug Walker's brother. He's saying that, oh, you should make a movie based on their lives. But think about it this way. This version was way more handled than the miniseries. Because like Doug Walker, as Nostalgia Critic, pointed out, the adults, every time they hear the mention of it just cuts back to a childhood memory over and over and over again. It's just dude, just stop. Just make the first 3 hours just the kids and the last 3 hours just the adults. But I'm not gonna beat a dead horse and just keep critiquing the miniseries, That's the only complaint I have against it. And they fixed it in the original. And I'm glad about that. So, just try not to nitpick too much. I cannot find any problems with it. I need to think. Oh yeah. Oh wait. I thought of something and it just slipped my mind. Oh yeah, I still bummed out that they left the part where silver was its weakness. Well, probably because they changed Richie's fear from werewolves to clowns, which I guess kind of makes sense. I don't know. Man, Eddie, when he had his broken arm and Pennywise comes out of the fridge, in a box, and he steps out and he slowly twists and converts himself back to normal with a bunch of jerks and everything. Oh man, that was just... I was just holy crap. He's one of those freaking necro whatevers in Dead Space. Holy crap. It's a little terrifying. But man, when Richie was in that clown room, he was like, oh crap. I'm like, yeah, I'd say the same thing. And my smile could never have been wider when Pennywise came out and said, "Beep beep, Richie," and I'm like, oh, yes, they kept the original in mind. You know, I was like, oh, I'm at home. My gosh, I'm at home. Like, my mind is blown at how good this movie is. You know, people are gonna be like, oh, it wasn't really that great, but I thought it was pretty good. Alright? You know, people are complaining about pacing, and like I said, the pacing was nowhere near as bad as, you know, Godzilla. The new Godzilla, not Resurgence. Is Resurgence out? I don't know. I haven't been having my eyes on the Godzilla movies. I mean, Kong Skull Islands, the pacing is nowhere near as bad as Godzilla. Neither is it. In fact, it had really good pacing. You know, like it would show a clown and then have its moment. Saying that this clown to kid, that's what it's about. It's about exploiting their fears to try to lure them. And of course, the kids are like, nope, I'm out of here. That's what I like about it, you know. It just goes to the point. Of course, I'm not a really good ranter like a lot of people, but it was a good movie. You know, the last fight, even though I really didn't like the changes, it still blew me away, man. I just like how they teamed up and just did like team attacks and everything. That Ben dude was just like biting on Pennywise's arm. Oh my gosh, it was just amazing. What I would give it is a 9 out of 10. It was really that good of a movie. And it stayed really faithful to the original, which I did like. You know, they made the changes and they made sure the changes stood out. And I gotta give props to the director, man. Director did a good job. And you know, to be honest with you, I can't wait for the second chapter. I'm gonna have my parents and my brother see that with me as well. Alright, I'm gonna be like, oh man, you gotta see the second chapter. You know, my brother's like, oh, I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah, he never was. He doesn't really think clowns are scary. Or is that my dad? I can tell you one thing, man. It kind of made my brother jump a bit. And so did my mom, man. She jumped a lot. Anyways, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye, guys.